want to explore it, nothing too serious. Forget the world for a minute, before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it, hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come on, here with me, I want for you to go. No need to worry, there is no hurry to stay, we'll take it slow.
What strategy?
It's the 2K Sports Pregame Show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. It's basketball out in Oklahoma City, Chesapeake Energy Arena to be exact. We'll see the Thunder go up against the Boston Celtics. Taking a look at the Celtics, they haven't forgotten the fact that this team swept them last year in the regular season. This is a game they had circled going in. And for the Celtics, how about their head coach, Brad Stevens? He's a youthful-looking guy. I know he's over 40, doesn't look it, but he's very, very poised.
Well, truthful. I think the one thing that he is he's a straight-up coach who has a no-nonsense approach. He's comfortable in his own skin, and I think he does look younger than 40.
And, he's a young guy, but he's not afraid to challenge his players, and he keeps an even keel. You won't see him breaking any clipboards. I like this guy.
You may not see him breaking any clipboards. That doesn't mean he doesn't do it behind closed doors.
Well, see, there's a difference.
I know.
We like when you're behind closed doors breaking them. We just don't want it in public. Don't embarrass us.
Here's Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
I never want to waste your time. My life, so precious. It's yours, it's mine. And look at the time. My God, so precious. It's yours, it's mine.
It's time for some hoops at the Chesapeake Energy Arena, home of the Thunder here in downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And we're going to bring it to you live on 2K Sports. 2K Sports brings you Friday night NBA action. Chris Webber's joining us at the broadcast table alongside Greg Anthony and David Aldridge on the sideline. This is Kevin Harlan. Taking a look at Boston. So important to get off on the right foot. New year, new season. These guys have done it.
First out of the gate and off to a really strong start. That's always a good way to build your confidence going forward.
And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Well, guys, we all know how hard Russell Westbrook plays every night. Coach Billy Donovan said he plays with such force and passion. He gets so intense, so competitive, so emotional, but he's doing a good job of bringing himself back together and understanding there's other guys out there depending on him. Kevin?
And that's how Russ has always been, D.A., a high-motor player who leaves it all out on the floor. And, Chris, a lot of coaches will use the early part of the season to try out different lineups or combinations to see how that might all work together, function together. Did you like or dislike this period of the year?
As a player, I liked it because I knew that practicing with some guys, I wanted to actually play with them on the court. And you don't get time in practice to play, and so you do get that time. But that's where the older teams or veteran teams or teams that have been together longer have an advantage. They don't have to start or worry about training camp, the lack of preseason games. They already have their system implemented and in place, and guys know their role. And so when you're a young team trying to establish your identity, it's tough because it's hard to get consistency when the coach is playing with lineups. That's why you want to be on a veteran team with veteran players that understand the system. Your season kicks off much faster.
Good info. And now the opening lineup for Boston. Irving and Brown pair at the 1 and the 2. Tatum out there with Horford, and it's Baines in at the 5. Short. That shot, no good. So the Celtics will take it the other way. And going against Oklahoma City, their first meeting of the year.
And there were a few teams that gave them trouble last year, but this team was one that you wouldn't have expected.
Rebounded by the Celtics. Game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
And I feel like the defense was one step behind all night. I mean, they never made the adjustments to string together a few stops.
And with all the talk about Kyrie coming to Boston, you still have to figure how he'll fit in to the team. Has this year and next left on his contract, player option after that. But with his scoring and shooting, should make this offense even more potent.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
And when you put a player of Kyrie's ability into this Boston system, you have to expect good things. Irving does so much for himself and others. The longer he plays with the team, I think the more comfortable he'll become.
He hits both from the stripe.
And as great of a free throw shooter as he is, it's still a part of his game. He works very hard at it.
And then George with the jam.
Love the attitude of Westbrook. Continues to improve at running the offense and finding ways to create opportunities for his teammates.
And that last replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Brown, good.
Oh, a good open look, and he sprays it home from 3.
It's Anthony with the drive. Lays it up off the glass. Anthony's got his first bucket of the night.
And love the muscle Anthony brings to the 3 spot. Takes pride in outworking everyone when he's that deep inside.
Offensive rebound. Baines. No good with the layup.
That's just a quick move to the 10 and an even quicker reaction by the D to stop him.
And George with the stuff.
And hustle paying off there for George in the open court. Gets up court in a flash and finishes before the D can even react.
Now here's Irving. He's coming off a 22-point game against Sacramento.
Okay, and 4 steals on the night. He relished being a major disruption on the defensive end.
Now here's Adams. Jason Tatum missing his last shot.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Irving against Westbrook. Irving kicks to Tatum. Adams brings the double team. Passes it to Brown. Shot clock at 6. The Celtics need to get a shot off. Pulls up. And Irving gets it to go on the assist by Brown.
There's no defense in the world that can contain Irving. His jump shot is just too quick.
Here's Westbrook and Oklahoma City again with the bucket.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
And a wide open look for Irving. And Roberson pulls it down.
Not a very consistent quarter for him in terms of a shooter.
And George with the stuff.
Yeah, you see the athleticism George had on that dunk. It's so quick and explosive. Gets to the rim in an instant.
Here's Irving. Irving double team. Westbrook with the steal. Here's George. Goes back up. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not. But sure enough, they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. And when you watch Russell Westbrook play, he's one of the most competitive players in the NBA.
And with the way he attacks the rim and plays with just no abandon, I mean, this guy is no joke. Absolutely wills himself and his team to just do things that few others can, and relentless from the first quarter to the last whistle.
Free throw good, Westbrook. And both free throws good for Westbrook. And the Celtics franchise with the league-leading 17 NBA championships, their last in 2008.
Yeah, and with the talent and assets they possess, they might be in the hunt for banner number 18 before you know it. One of the beasts of the East, without question.
And here now the Thunder, following the three-pointer by Kyrie Irving. Adams' shot is off.
Just the presence of the D in the lane is enough to make him short-arm that layup.
Brown dishes to Tatum. Adams brings the double team. Poke loose. It's stolen by Adams. Inside. Lays it up off the glass. 6 points for Russell Westbrook.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Irving with it. 7 points in the game. Stolen by Westbrook. The finish.
Oh, wow. Look out.
That's a beautiful jam.
And you know Westbrook has an outstanding vertical. Once he gets to the launching pad, rim, beware.
Now, here is Irving. To the paint, here's Horford. Can't hit that one. Anthony with the defensive effort. Westbrook drives in, and the dunk by Westbrook.
Yeah, pounding it inside once again. They have taken over this game physically.
Right off the opening tip, they've been relentless. And this style of play can be hard to come back against.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first.
Yeah, he's got to make some adjustments here. Just too easy to score in the lane against them right now.
Well, I think the first thing they need to talk about are the rotations. There's a lot of miscommunication out there.
And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the threes and the twos last season for the Celtics.
And the three-point shot was a huge part of their game plan. When it was falling, it made them very hard to defend. Opponents were stretched out all over the place.
Celtics trail by 10. Here's Brown. Playing Sacramento, he was nearly unstoppable. And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook. Here are the top distributors from last season. These guys always seem to find the open man. Russell Westbrook third.
Very few guys pass the ball better than he did. I mean, he didn't just have eyes in the back of his head. It's almost as if he had them on both sides, too.
Clock at 6. They get a hand on it. And the dunk by Robertson.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Yeah, you got to love it. Everything's working. Offense, defense, already a big lead.
Westbrook against Irving. And Baines kicks to Brown. Here's Irving. Drilled from 11 feet out. Irving's got his third basket of the night.
Did you see that? How committed Irving is? Once he's in the paint, he's looking to score.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Yeah, particularly on offense, where they've been completely in sync. Terrific first quarter.
Now here's Brown. Adams brings the double team. Irving kicks to Baines. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Baines has got his first basket of the night.
Look at Irving go to work off the ball screen and his man. He's always alert, constantly scanning the floor for his teammates.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Launches a three. It's hauled in by George. The Thunder leading by 10. Here's Adams. It's hauled in by Brown.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
Wonderful anticipation. He reads the play perfectly. Then with the quick reaction time. He has put forth an outstanding effort on offense this quarter. He will need to keep it up if they really want to cut into this lead.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Picked by Horford. And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession.
And taking a look here at some numbers for Russell Westbrook. Great showing for him last season. He was around 31 points a game last year, 10 assists and 10 rebounds. And he's been putting up points with regularity. I mean, that's what they depend on, his killer instinct on offense.
Yeah, anytime this club needs a basket, he's their go-to guy. Just an irrepressible, prolific scorer.
And here we can check out the story on Kyrie Irving. Coming off a terrific season, third in free throw shooting, and he ranked in the top 15 in points per game, one of the league's premier offensive threats.
And just going back to his free throw efficiency, it's about confidence when you're at the line. You've always said it. He had it. That's how he ended up with the top 3 ranking. And that one falls for Westbrook.
And one thing you have to say about Russell Westbrook, he is an absolute star. I mean, the type of player you can build around and win with. Just the total package on the offensive end of the floor.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Patterson comes in for Carmelo Anthony. And Abrinas subbed in for Roberson. The numbers Westbrook put up last season in his MVP run, Greg, just staggering.
And you figured his numbers would get a bump, but I don't think anybody could have expected this guy to average a triple-double. I mean, arguably the most impactful superstar in the league.
Rebounded by the Celtics.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
Tatum kicks to Smart. It's good from long range. Smart's got his first 3 points of the game.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Up their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triple. Oh, inflicting some punishment with the 2-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Rozier the pass to Morris. And he gets that one to go off the front iron.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any...
Look at that jam! Wow. I mean, just beautiful.
In this first period, they've been aggressive and extremely focused.
Well, that's put them up by double digits, trying to run away with this one wire to wire.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. Now so many teams rely on the pick and roll and run it with big men. Chris, which big man do you feel does a great job of running the pick and roll right now?
Well, I think you have to go up there to Lob City and you have to look at Blake Griffin, the way that he can handle, stop and pop, knock the shot down. But also, if you go for a pump fake, you will get dunked on with him flying down that lane. Anthony Davis, the fact that Davis can step back, hit that jump shot, but also attack the basket. He's another one that can do it. And then Tristan Thompson, when he has it rolling and he gets that ball from the middle off of LeBron pick and roll, he's great at finding the shooters, Kevin Love or another shooter in the corner, but also he'll dunk on you with the best of them. So those 3 guys come to mind when they talk about finishing strong on the pick and roll.
Oklahoma City on D. It's a 10-point game. The pass to Rozier. Now Morris. Pass to Rozier. 5 to shoot. In the corner. Tatum with it. In the corner, Smart with it. No good from outside. The Thunder leading by 10. Here's George. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them. Well, when Paul George announced this summer that he intended to leave for the Lakers when the contract ran out, you knew what was coming. Even as a rental possibility, the suitors lined up, and eventually the price was paid, and now George finds himself in a Thunder uniform.
And to many, the Thunder came out of nowhere to land George in that trade.
You know, most thought Cleveland or maybe Boston were the front runners for his services, but the Thunder snuck in and made their team a 2-star squad once again. Very interesting to see how far the duo of Westbrook and George can go.
Wow, look at Morris, just using that big body of his to draw contact. The defense has a tough time matching up with him.
The Celtics shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
And last season, when they got themselves to the line, they usually came through as a team up around 81%.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
Free throw good for Morris. Greg, when you think about the franchises in the league that have sustained success, who are always competitive, Oklahoma City should be right there at the top.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the records for the Thunder, and their success really does speak for itself. 8 straight seasons of 500 or better basketball. Only the Spurs and Rockets can also make that claim.
And he can't hit the second. And when Marcus Morris gets a defender in a 1-on-1 situation, Greg, he feels the most at home.
And part of that might be from going up against his twin brother all the time when they were young. Marcus Morris has a great knack to find a shot he likes. Terrific with his mid-range.
Horford dishes to Smart. Here's Rozier. Good, and Smart gets the assist.
Oh, nice look there from Smart, finding the open man.
It's stolen by Morris. Here's Rozier. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Sacramento. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense.
Now look, Marcus Morris, he's a player who's never going to be a star when you look at the stats, but he brings a great amount to the team, usually the heart and soul of his team. He can score in a multitude of ways inside and outside.
And C-Webb, as you mentioned with Morris, the value he brings in his ability to fill in gaps on a roster. Very much a glue guy that is needed for successful teams.
Well, yeah, Kevin, and I like the mentality that Morris brings to the group. I like his heart. He's never afraid to go at a defender one-on-one, keeps his teammates involved, holds his guys accountable. Love his game.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Grant's checked in. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
And great effort on the boards, and what a mean that was, Gary. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And how relentless is this guy? If you're the defense, he's the first one you're looking to block out there.
Here's Smart. Boston again missing. Oklahoma City leading by 13. Down low. Patterson, that's good. Patterson's got 6.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Horford sets a screen for Morris. Back to Smart. There's the triple. Sinks the three-pointer. He's got 6.
Showing his range. Smart spacing the floor.
Grant, right side. A quick shot there, and it's off target. Celtics trail by 12. Tatum with it. Now defended by Grant. The 15-footer. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
Yeah, and Tatum showing consistency now from the mid-range. And when he has space to shoot it, he does not hesitate even for a second.
And he makes that one.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
To the right side. Adams brings the double team. Feeds it to Smart. And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds. We take a second here to take a look at the shot chart for the Thunder.
You know, I doubt they came into this game thinking they would be doing this much damage from mid-range, but you have to give them credit for being able to see what is available in their offense and then exploit the weakness of the D. To be successful in this league, you have to be flexible, and they've done a great job of that so far.
Oklahoma City leading by 12. 50 seconds left in the first quarter. Misses off the left iron.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
Sometimes you get a little outside of yourself. You have to be a little more disciplined.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
We've got 22 seconds left in the first quarter. Patterson bringing the double. And stolen by Patterson. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession. "17 seconds left to play here in the first. Tatum wide open. He fires one. And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds. Here's Abrinas, guarded by Smart. Here's Patterson. Drops it in from 11 feet. Patterson's got 8 points.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
The first quarter concludes in a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. Thunder lead by 14. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Oklahoma City. And Russell Westbrook, a guy who has faced some criticism, also a guy who is extremely critical of himself.
It's tough, and I'm still learning every night to be able to come out, to know when to score, to know when to pass, to know when to be aggressive, to know when to slow down. It can be tough at times because I want to do so well, and I want my teammates to do so well, and I want to win so bad.
Well, you have to love the competitive attitude, the desire to be great, not just for himself, but for his teammates, too.
And the emphasis on winning. That's why so many people in the league feel that it's just a matter of time before Westbrook puts those finishing touches on his game.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And a very convincing performance from the Thunder so far.
I mean, an interesting first quarter. The pressure D seems to be causing a lot of turnover.
Well, that's what happens when you're aggressive on that end of the floor. They took a few chances and took control of the game.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the floor for Boston. Morris is the 4 with Horford in the middle. Smart is out there with Rozier, and it's Tatum in at the 3, the small forward.
Oh, and the Celtics bringing in Brad Stevens as head coach in 2013. That same summer, they made their blockbuster trade with the Nets. 2 home run moves for their franchise.
Picked by Horford. In the corner, it's Morris. Again, the miss by Morris.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Grant, that's good. And the Celtics signed Brad Stevens to a 6-year contract to lure him away from Butler in college basketball. Chris, they were very confident he'd be a great coach.
Well, they might want to pull out their pen and have him sign another 6-year deal real quick because he's already established himself as one of the league's top coaches.
Picked by Horford. Morris with the ball. Now defended by Adams. And the 3 ball is good. 9 points for Marcus Smart.
And that's how you build confidence in your shot. Smart, able to set his feet off the catch and shoot.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
And hammering down the two-hand slam. Celtics trail by 15. Doubled by Felton, stolen by Grant, and now the fast break. Grant with the ball, and the dunk by Grant.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Oh, well, that's because it was terrific anticipation. Also, the quick hands, a lethal combination.
Let's take a look at numbers for Morris. How he did last season. Averaged about 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
Well, yeah, lately he's been overachieving a little bit. Hopefully this is a sign of greater things to come.
The free throw drops for Grant. So often there are some players who have one unstoppable move or something that they'll lean on if their team needs a basket. What did you feel your go-to move was when you were playing?
You know, I've said this many times. I just felt like my go-to move was just get a bucket. And so it depended on where I was on the floor. You know, I love the jump hook from the left block looking in, my 15-foot jumper, 17-foot jumper. I felt that if I came off a pick and roll and I caught the ball live, I could drive or I could shoot the jumper that if you were a big fella, you were at my mercy. And so, you know, those were really my spots on the floor to really try to do damage. So, you know, it's just about the point guard, the team that you're playing with, where shooters are on the floor in case you get double teamed, and just kind of knowing your game. And so I felt comfortable on many spots on the floor, and depending on what spot on the floor, time and possession, that's where I was going to go and just try to be successful.
I always felt you read well. You reacted well after your read.
Yeah, because, you know, I grew up on teams where coaches, you know, would want me to do the correct play, and just because you can shoot a jump hook, your favorite shot over 2 people, but if you have a wide open, great knockdown shooter in the corner, you're supposed to make that pass. And so that's what I mean about, you know, what's your favorite move. It really depends on where I was, because a lot of times it was to get my shot first, and then if I knew the defense was coming, it was to identify where that next guy was going to be. So if I didn't score, I was going to get the ball to the guy that was. And it was an easy way to kind of control the pace and the play from the game from that post position.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, Celtics coach Brad Stevens is known for getting the best out of his players. He said every NBA player has an elite strength. Some of them have 10 of them. Those guys are the very best in the league, right? But every one of them is here for a reason. And there are times where you can really soar with that skill. Kevin?
And that's why Stevens is already one of the best coaches in the league, David. You've talked about him for a long time, getting maximum results from every one of his players. And now it's a look at the 2K leaderboard with the list of the NBA's best fast break teams from a season ago. In third, the Thunder.
I mean, this is such a tough team to deal with. You see the numbers. They would just push the ball at every opportunity.
And Andre Robertson is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. And Oklahoma City making a change here. Westbrook's checked in. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. So another turnover for Oklahoma City. Here's Anthony. Westbrook, no good. Tipped away. Celtics trail by 21. Irving kicks to Morris. They set the screen. Here's Brown. Shot is good off the back rim and in. Brown's got his second bucket tonight.
And Brown is a reliable threat from mid-range. I mean, effortlessly rising up to the nice-looking J.
Boston's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Irving passes to Baines. Anthony on the double team. Here's Morris. And Grant sends it back. Here's Anthony. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 5 assists tonight.
Yeah, just superb focus there from Melo, overpowering the D, one of the best shooters we have in this game.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Morris. Paul George is checked in for Oklahoma City. And here are the Thunder now. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. Patterson dishes to Carmelo. Over Morris. And again, Carmelo Anthony. Anthony's got 4 points this quarter.
And the shooting form of Anthony, just perfect. He's dangerous with the catch and shoot and just terrific at scoring when in rhythm.
Here's Patterson. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Greg, the one thing about Patrick Patterson out of Kentucky, he is a smart basketball player.
Yeah, he's not the best rebounder or shot blocker, but the advanced stats love him, and he gets the job done at both ends of the floor.
Two shots.
That free throw good from Patterson. Chris, I know that when you go through a season, there are certain matchups that you love and certain ones that you don't. When you were playing, which other power forwards did you just dread, just did not like going up against?
Well, Kevin, I would kind of change that and say dread to me was love, meaning that I dreaded and I loved to go up against Tim Duncan because you knew you had to be prepared that night. I loved and I dreaded going up against KG. You know, I played in the era where in 1 week I could have played against Shaq, Rasheed Wallace, Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan, Hakeem Olajuwon. This is all on the West Coast. So for me, you know, I dreaded the Western Conference, but what's so good about it is that you just have to be prepared, and you can't dread the NBA. It's like you grew up wanting to play against the best players in life, and so I really loved the fact that I had to be my best every night, or you're going to get embarrassed in the league. So it was every power forward.
Never an off night, was there, Chris?
Never an off night, and you know, so I can't say I dreaded Karl Malone over Barkley or Olajuwon over David Robinson or Tim Duncan over KG. It's just like, hey man, you got to put your big boy pants on, get ready, and go to work, baby. Put your hard hat on.
And that one drops.
And George just has that extra gear. Well, once he kicks into it, he is nearly impossible to stop.
Irving drives in. Westbrook with the block. They retain possession.
He'll be beating himself up if they can't come back because he is not carrying his weight at the offensive end.
And he comes up with the deuce. And that's 17 points for Paul George.
This score will be very different without his offense. He's been terrific.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Left side, Brown. The steal. And now here's George, the fast break opportunity. And George with the stuff.
The tenacity, the attention to detail. It's why these guys are in complete control.
Well, they continue to extend the lead. Terrific play on both ends of the court.
There's a screen. Irving double team. And the wide open shot from Morris. Good, and Smart gets the assist. And that's now 6 points for Marcus Morris.
Terrific use of the catch-and-shoot jumper from Morris, catching the D flat-footed and torching them as a result.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Morris a screen. Irving against Patterson. Irving can't get it to go.
His shot hasn't been going in, and they will probably have to look for someone else to step up and provide for them.
Boston shooting at a 32% clip from the field. They're just not executing. Floats one up. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Patterson had his 3rd rebound on the night.
A frustrating start to this quarter for him.
Robertson can't hit. Smart up top. He's got 9. Good for another basket for him. Number 4 today. He's 4 of 8. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, Sade comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operator.
He kicks to Morris. Dishes it to Baines. And he bangs it home with one hand.
And he might be small for a center, but boy, can he jump out of the building.
The Thunder shooting 53% in the second quarter. Good ball movement, yielding good looks. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And Boston called for the foul. Well, you could feel the clock ticking for Melo's time in New York, and this offseason, it finally ended, Greg.
Yeah, and for a team like this to add Melo to the mix, what a blessing. I mean, Melo still has a ton of offense to offer, and hard to add a player so skilled as Melo for practically nothing.
That free throw good from Anthony.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
So Anthony nails both of them. And beyond his ability to shine on the basketball floor, you have to commend Carmelo Anthony's effort, Greg, to get NBA players and other athletes more involved in making the world a better place.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, but guys like Melo see what is beyond the world of basketball. He's spoken out as well as done the legwork of being active in his communities. And
wow.
Here he comes, and there he goes.
Look at him punish that rim. Boston shooting about 33%, not happy with their play on that end. Irving double team. Now here's Smart, covered by Anthony. Irving, a good look. No good that time. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
And we all know in a hostile environment, always tough, but they were the better team on that night.
I absolutely love the fire they showed on the road. You really could tell they wanted that one.
He dishes it to Morris. Here's Baines. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
For Boston, they have only 1 missed free throw. They've had 5 attempts and made 4 of them.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
And you look at this Celtics roster, a bevy of long, athletic wing players. They seem to be taking a cue from teams like the Warriors, who have found success with defensive switching and positionless basketball.
Adams, he's checked in for Patrick Patterson. And then for Boston, Al Horford's checked in for Marcus Morris. And Terry Rozier subbed in for Irving.
And the Celtics, as you see, are stockpiling wing forwards. Brown, Tatum, Hayward, and we're seeing those guys lining up at the 2, 3, and 4. It gives Brad Stevens tremendous roster versatility.
And George with the stuff.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Yeah, talent in this league has it so that now pretty much every team can push the pace. You have to get back on defense.
And here's a look now at the shot chart showing the field goals attempted locations for Morris.
And every time he's pulled up from deep and let it fly, it's found a way to catch iron. Not sure if it is something with his release or the defense is bothering him on his threes, but I would expect him to attack the rim a bit just to kind of mix things up.
Now here's Smart. 11 points in the game. Brown with it. George picks him up. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's his first foul. Arenas is checked in for Andre Robertson. Boston also with the sub. Tatum, he's checked in for Aaron Baines. Here's Rozier. To the paint. Here's Brown. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
And Brown is just utilizing his athleticism yet again. I mean, this time from the interior, though, but just sinking these close-range shots.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
It's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got 11 rebounds in the game. Baseline J on the way. George, no good. Now here's Smart. D right on him. Pass to Rozier. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. They're making this a runaway.
And the only question for me right now is just how big the lead will eventually become.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Anthony on the double team. There's the feed to Horford. Fires for three. Bangs home the trifecta. Horford's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And it's Anthony with the jam.
And how about the excellent court vision? Just keeping the defense off balance.
Well, if you're his teammate, you love this right now because all you have to do is focus on finishing.
Rozier kicks to Tatum. No good with the triple.
It's clear this just isn't his night. I mean, if they're going to keep him on the floor, I think his best role would be to be a decoy.
No one had more success at the foul line last season than this group of players. Kyrie Irving third, and of course Paul George.
And how about the work both of them put in from the foul line? Just such a consistent, dependable performance from both.
That's good from Anthony. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
And so he hits both.
The Celtics making major strides offensively. Back in 2014, one of the worst teams in the league. They've gotten better every season.
He hit 1 3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second.
Not only did he play superb D there, he snagged the rebound in the process. Fantastic effort.
Now here's Smart. He's tightly guarded. They set the pick. He feeds it to Tatum. Again, the miss by the Celtics. And the Thunder with possession. They're on a 16-7 run. The shot by Anthony, no good. Here's Rozier. Here's Tatum. Sinks it from just inside the baseline. Tatum's got 5 points so far.
Yeah, you got to admire his instincts offensively. Tatum does a great job of shooting it in rhythm off the pass.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
I mean, I don't know whether to say it's amazing or it's sad, but you're down double digits and you still allow an uncontested layup. Where is the pride? Where is your heart?
Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for Oklahoma City. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Russell, how confident are you that there's nobody that can stay in front of you?
Very confident. I have a lot of confidence in myself. I put a lot of work in the summertime, and I'm very confident.
That is never a problem for you, Russ. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal. And this hill of a man is Kenny the Jet Smith. Paul George taking care of business in this one. He had 23 points, 2 steals, and 1 assist. Some great work from him in the first 2 quarters. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Right up front, we saw the elite two-way game of Paul George. Locking down guys defensively, lesser athletes have almost no chance to score on him. And then he was in total command on the offensive end. Made plays for others and shot lights out for himself.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Boston?
Well, Ernie, they had a ton of fouls. Jeez. And the points they gave up at the free throw line added up in a hurry. They got to calm down during the break and play much more control in the second half.
That'll do it for now. The second half of action coming right up.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy Arena there in the background as the cars stream down I-40. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
You know, and as effective as he was at slashing to the hoop in that first half, even better at finishing once he got there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just his ability to play above the rim led to some highlight reel dunks and really pumped up his teammates.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Adams is out there with Anthony, and it's George in at the small forward position. That's Billy Donovan's 5 as we get going here in the second half.
And that's what Horford can open things up for the whole team offensively. I mean, that's where he can. Off the catch and shoot, bottoms up.
Now a chance to see the numbers for George. Last season, he played outstanding. 5th for free throw shooting, 14th in steals, and he ranked in the top 15 in points per game, one of the league's premier offensive threats.
And yeah, he was money from the charity stripe. Only a handful of players shot a better percentage last season. Tremendous asset.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And that one's good, Anthony.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
And defensively, you know he's feeling good right now. And as the opposing team, you better adjust your scheme accordingly.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
They get the rebound. Adams. And the layup's good off the glass. Adams has got 8 points.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
It's stolen by Adams. Here's Westbrook, and Westbrook throws it down hard.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end in a blink.
And it's as if someone got their signals crossed. If he can wind up that open from three-point range, I'm sure that was not a part of the game plan.
Oh, they're getting terrific high-percentage looks at the basket to begin this half. 4 or 5 so far.
Brown the pass to Irving. Picked by Horford. Irving double-teamed. And now the fast break. Anthony with the ball. And finished off by Westbrook.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Tatum dishes to Irving. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Irving's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Irving, just an exceptional scorer. So effortless. You got to appreciate his shooting form.
The Celtics have gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall, 80% since the break. Watching Jason Tatum, it's hard to find many faults in his game, Greg. He's strong inside and out and plays both ends of the floor equally well.
Yeah, kind of a jack of all trades, right, and master of none. He does everything reasonably well on the basketball floor, just doesn't do anything great. Having said that, though, Tatum is one of those guys that I think improves the overall IQ
of your team and terrific size at his position.
2.
That free throw good from Kyrie Irving.
Well, among the most feared one-on-one scorers in the league, that is Kyrie Irving. He has the handles to get to wherever he wants, no matter where he is on the floor. He's a threat.
Both free throws good for Irving. And Kyrie Irving sniffing that 50, 40, 90 territory, 50% from the field, 40% from deep, 90% from the line. He is that kind of shooter. And Chris, what a handle.
Yeah, he's not just a stationary threat. It's his creativity combined with that efficiency. That's what makes him so deadly.
It's stolen by Anthony. Here's George, and George with the stuff.
And I just love the aggressiveness from George, just slicing apart the defense with that terrific ability to penetrate.
3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. Irving double team. The screen from Brown. Irving with it. Westbrook picks him up. Just 5 to shoot. Shoots it up. Horford's shot is good. Horford's got 5 points now this quarter.
Well, the defense better do a better job realizing that Horford is a very...
And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure. And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Excellent work by the talented people in our production truck as well. Ball's knocked loose. Stolen by George. Here's Roberson. He's covered by Brown. Roberson can't hit. Back to Irving. Here's the three. Westbrook with the nice D there. For Oklahoma City, they've gotten 8 of their 11 shots to drop since the break. A great third quarter for them offensively.
Such a strong finisher for a floor general.
He was up high, and he came down hard. Exquisitely done.
Get out the way. Move, and that pumps up his teammates as well. That's a statement play all the way around.
And so it's Oklahoma City with it. And Adams with the slam. Great game for him. Double-double now. 10 points and 16 rebounds.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
Irving kicks to Horford. In the corner, Tatum with it. Picked by Horford. Off the pick. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Aaron Baines. That'll be his second foul of the game.
How about the attitude Tatum has? I mean, if he has room to shoot, he is going to let it fly.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Patterson's checked in. Morris is checked in for Boston. Here's Westbrook. Good again. He's on tonight. 9 for 13 shooting.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Irving passes to Horford. Back to Irving. Picked by Horford. Back to Irving. Fires the three. Another miss by Irving. Oklahoma City shooting around 60% on the night. Amazing work offensively so far. Yep, it counts. Roberson's got 8 points.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
To the paint, here's Morris, and Morris throws it down.
And Morris really rises up for these jams, leaving no mistake as he finishes with authority.
And there's Paul George on the assist by Westbrook. And that's 31 points for Paul George. Boston's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Patterson bringing the double. Brown kicks to Morris. 6 to shoot. Here's Horford. No good on the three.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
George. Rebounded by the Celtics. Morris has got 8 rebounds in this game. The Celtics have gone 8 of 12 from the field since the beginning of the third. Knocked away. Here's George.
Wow. We are going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Greg. That was special. That was really special. Irving double team. Horford kicks to Tatum. Pick by Horford. Jumper off the screen, and that one drops for him. And that's now 11 points for Jason Tatum.
And there's another aspect of his game, the ability to work off.
Nice. I tell you what, you've got to build a wall around the bucket to keep this man from attacking.
And Greg, even then, he might just go over it. Check out the elevation he gets here. My goodness. On the wing, Morris. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. 11 points in the game.
And they've really gotten on track here in the second half. After that shaky start, the field goal percentage steadily climbing. They couldn't make anything in that first break. And really, the past few seasons, the Thunder have just been a dominant team on the glass. They do a great job of limiting second chance points, and they get a lot of extra possessions with their own offensive rebound. Unbelievable. This guy is completely in a zone.
Down low, here's Horford. The rebound by Patterson. Patterson's got rebound number 5 here tonight. George with the ball. Picked up by Brown. And George gets it to go.
Strong work for him at the offensive end, helping them to maintain that lead.
Boston's gotten the three-pointer to fall to the tune of 50% here in the third quarter. They've made 3 of 6. Patterson against Morris. Patterson bringing the double. And now the fast break. George with the ball. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That's on Jaylen Brown.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul. And Paul George kind of made it known of his desire to leave for LA after this season, but big risk for the Thunder to make that move and trade for him.
Two shots.
The first free throw is good. And for Paul George, who knows what the future holds for him, but Greg, he is a great fit, it would seem, for the Thunder.
Listen, you give the Thunder another star to pair with Westbrook, and they're taking a leap of faith here with George.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Jeremy Grant, he's checked in for Steven Adams. Alex Abrinas comes in for Roberson. And it's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. Chris, you look at the way the game is played now. We have seen some retired players say it is soft.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is soft when you look through their lens. That's true. But that's the way that the game is today. And so if you're a fan just coming to the game now, or, you know, if this is the game you love, you accept it and you keep moving on. As long as the fans love it, as long as the players are having fun with it. But definitely, compared to the 80s, to the 90s, there's no doubt about it that the game is soft as far as physical play. But at the same time, look what it's produced. It has allowed players to show the beauty of an offensive jump shot, of an offensive move, and also made defenders get that much better because you have to move laterally and can't use your hands to guard.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
And you look back to that Big 3 era in Boston, you know, the Celtics have not been shy about aggressively trading to reshape this roster. You know, they've made a rapid rebuild that's really the envy of a lot of teams around our league.
Both good from the line that time. And as aggressive as the Celtics have been, Greg, they've also shown patience, haven't they?
Yeah, and in some ways, maybe a victim of their own success. You come out on the winning end of your trades time and again. Other GMs don't want to look bad. They get hesitant, possibly, and don't want to add their name to that list.
And he gets the bucket. Boston's gone 3 of 7 from three-point range here in quarter number 3. Knocked loose. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. And good that time. Abrinas has got 4 points in the quarter.
You know, guys, fast break points right now in their favor, and they're really pushing the tempo.
Here's Rozier, doubled by Felton. In the corner, Tatum with it. 6 to shoot. Horford sets a screen for Tatum. They need this. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give them 2 chances at the free throw line here. That one on George.
You got to avoid fouling Tatum in those situations. He's very clever at getting the defense to kind of bite when he attacks.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
That free throw, no good.
And it's about the versatility that Tatum offers, particularly offensively. He can guard and play multiple positions on the floor.
And the second free throw, good. Thunder shooting fantastically in this game, 62% from the floor. The 11-footer. Second shot opportunity. And Patterson with the lay-in, good. Patterson's got 14 points.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
It can be discouraging, frustrating, but you only have yourselves to blame. Box out.
Tatum kicks to Smart. Picked by Horford. Passes it to Rozier. No good on the triple. Rozier's gone 1 of 3 shooting so far. Good for another bucket. He's made half a dozen now, 6 for 8 on the night.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Tatum with it. Now Felton defending. And the basket by Rozier.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
Grant, that's good. 10 points for him.
And since they've come out of halftime, they've been extremely poised and very efficient.
And don't forget, very accurate. Taking shots within the flow of the offense. Not something that can be said for their opponent.
Morris, count it from 12. Morris has got 7 now in this quarter.
When Morris gets free from mid-range, he's very effective. Love seeing him getting it going from there.
Boston's gone downtown a lot since halftime. They've missed 5 of their 9 attempts out there. Rozier, the pass to Smart. The 3 from Morris. Kept alive by Boston. Morris has gone just 2 of 7 from long range. Here's Patterson. Horford with the rebound.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
Sometimes you get a little outside of yourself. You have to be a little more disciplined.
Smart misses. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And there it is for him.
No hesitation at all in transition, and they have a huge margin in that department.
Boston shooting well, 52% in the third. They came to play offensively in the second half. To the inside, here's Tatum. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, nice job by Tatum inside. Very assertive. He's fantastic at putting the pressure on the D and consistently getting to the line.
Shot.
And that one falls for Tatum. He hits both from the stripe. Felton dishes to Grant. Kicks to Patterson. Over Horford. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Patterson's got 10 points in the quarter. Here's Smart. No good on that last second attempt there. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Oklahoma City out in front, running away with it. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. Now let's hear what head coach Billy Donovan was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
We've done a great job moving the ball. Let's keep the ball moving, extra pass, attack, pass, and play, okay?
Billy Donovan enjoying the activity his team is showing, the motion of his offense, just wants to see more of it.
Yeah, they're working together well. The key now is to try to do it consistently throughout the rest of this evening.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. On the floor for Boston, they've got Ogilvy. Aaron Baines out there with Larkin, and it's Nader in at the two-guard spot. Here's Johnson. Takes a big height bounce and goes in. Johnson's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Thunder. Now the pass to Ogilvy. There's the pick. The dish now to Baines. Here's Ogilvy. He's covered by Felton. Nice ball movement by Boston. 4 on the clock. Poked away. And Grant with the clear path to the hoop. The offensive rebound. It's good.
He does not play the score. I mean, he's going to continue to work his tail off on the glass and make plays just like that.
Keep it simple, know yourself, and that's how he gets his minutes. He doesn't stop battling for rebounds even when the score is lopsided. He knows his role.
Nice shot by Felton.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Here's Larkin. He's covered by Felton. Teardrop shot. Nice shot by Larkin. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. And Johnson with the stop.
Oh, terrific pass work. That shot's a lot easier after an assist like that.
Celtics have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Pass to Ogilvy. And it's off from three-point range. Here's Grant. Here's Felton. It's tipped. Here's Ogilvy. Pass to Nader. Feeds to Larkin. There's a good screen. And Grant sends it back. Felton goes in. Can't hit that one. Boston shooting a meager 37% for the game. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. There's the double team with Grant. And now the fast break. Grant with the ball. And the dunk by Grant.
Leaving the rest of the field in the dust.
Well, while he's out there making the play, everyone else is watching. Solid individual effort right there.
Dishes it to Larkin. All by himself. Here's Grant. That's a great dunk.
Freakish athletically.
That's how you do it.
Oh, my goodness. Fella's going to hurt somebody with a dunk like that. Probably will hurt himself.
Oh, there's too much fun to be had.
Well, unless you're the defense there, that's getting shown up in a big way.
And stolen by Felton. Here's Abrinas. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. Felton has got assist number 5 here tonight. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. The NBA coaching ranks always looked at and scrutinized. Only 30 great jobs out there in the league, and yet they're on the firing line, it seems like, every season. Chris, what enables head coaches, in your opinion, to be successful? And has that changed over the years?
Well, I think what allows you to be successful, first of all, what is your acumen for the game? Can you communicate? Can you inspire players? Are you a humble guy? And, I think those are the main things that you have to, have as a coach. But look, players get traded all the time. Everybody's under pressure. So, just got to do your best and keep it moving.
Here's Larkin. And that one hits back iron. And it's Oklahoma City's ball. They're on a 14-2 run here. Grant, that's good.
This isn't a tough case to crack. If they want to put an end to this run, they'll need to start getting back on D.
To the left wing. Here's Ojale. Good on the triple.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, that's because they made a concerted effort to get the shooters involved. Now they've built up the confidence.
Still attacking, building on this lead coming down the stretch.
Well, what I like about it most is he's doing it efficient.
He kicks it to Larkin. Fires the 3. Goes back up. Shot's good by Baines.
And that solid play in the paint continues here, guys.
Grant, that's good, and so Felton has the assist there. Felton's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Here's Larkin. There's the double team with Grant out to the right wing. Over to the left wing. Here's Nader. He's covered by Felton. Just 5 to shoot. Corner shot. Kept alive. Baines misses from short range. Oklahoma City shooting impressively throughout at 62.
Oh! And how about just floating to the rim on that slam?
Boy, when he gets up, he gets up. Boston's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th. Celtics passing it around. Here's the 3. The Thunder pull it in. This game is finished. They'll be off to Portland taking on the Trailblazers. That's game 1 of a 3-game road trip. No good from Grant.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Yeah, he has that capacity. He knows exactly where to position himself to protect the rim.
And Jeremy Grant picks up the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Kyle Singler's checked in for Oklahoma City. Yabusele, he's checked in for the Celtics. Nader the pass to Yabusele. Here's Nader. They set the pick with the floater. Yep, that one goes in there.
And you have to admire his focus. Not a good matchup for him in terms of size differential.
Well, he has the ability to make some subtle adjustments. Just create just enough space to get your shot off.
And he just elevates and powers in the one-hander.
Textbook. The Celtics shooting just 35%. They've got to get better looks. Here's Ojale. He's covered by Grant. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. And we've seen a few players come into the NBA through different paths. They're playing overseas for a year or spending time in the D League, now known as the G League. Chris, do you think that these alternative paths to the NBA will ever be as common as the standard collegiate path to the NBA?
Well, I think it can be only because there's such an international presence in the game. and that now you're starting to find players all over. And the great thing about the NBA is it doesn't matter where you come from. It just matters what type of skill set that you have. So I can't see it being other paths to the NBA, but the NCAA is always going to be one in the fact that guys want to play for their state teams, and that's always going to be fun to watch. But thank God for basketball fans and athletes, there's a lot of paths to the NBA, which is the ultimate if you want to play basketball.
Absolutely. Patterson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Morris is checked in for Boston. Rozier comes in for Shane Larkin. He hits the second from the line. Oklahoma City shooting 61%, showing all the indications of an offense that is locked in. And the shot is good from Johnson.
He's just able to shoot over people at a high rate.
But yeah, using his size. That's what I like about his game. He understands where he has the advantage. Then he exploits it.
The shot by Ojale, no good.
I'm sure the D has no issue whatsoever with him taking those threes, but he isn't hitting anything from out there.
Here's Patterson. A beautiful reverse layup. Patterson's got 12 points in just the second half.
And you can see how this game is going. I mean, put a body on somebody.
Man, this is what happens when you get discouraged. Sometimes it just affects every part of your game.
That's tipped and stolen by Patterson. On up the court, it's stolen by Morris. Unloads from 13. It's good on the putback.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
And it's Patterson finishing it off.
And he wanted everybody in the building to feel that ferocity.
And we did. Yeah. And we felt it. Even over here, we felt it. And here's Morris for three. Drains the three-pointer.
Oh, and that's his second three-pointer this half. I mean, he's really cooking now.
And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. Marcus Morris picks one up there. As you look at the league right now, how different would you say it is from when you played? And if there are a lot of differences, do you like the changes?
The NBA is much different from when I played. When I played, if you shot a jumper from the 15-foot range free throw line, they criticize you as a big fella. Now you have to be able to space the floor. If you were a big fella and led the break back then, they criticize you. Now you have a guy like Durant who is 6'11". So the game has changed from rules. It was so much more physical at the time. It was a slower pace. But, you know, that was then. I love the way that the game is now. I love that players have more freedom. I love that the pace is faster. You don't have to look back at your coach to have a play called every time. The trust is put in these players' skill sets. And so I love it, man. Anytime you can see Harden go to work, Durant go to work, Curry go to work, Westbrook go to work, LeBron go to work, Irving go to work, and just watch them play in an open offense, man, it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, I like the changes, and it was fun when I played as well.
There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That's his third foul of the game. And so it's Boston with it. Rozier kicks to Morris. Stolen by Grant.
This game is going to get even more out of hand unless they start valuing the basketball.
Here's Patterson. And no good that time. And it's Boston the other way. Here's Nader. That shot off. Nice D from Singler. Here's Grant.
Oh, wow. Look out.
That's a beautiful jam.
Oh, he's putting on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. There's the double team with Grant. Stolen by Grant. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession. Passes it to Nader. Nice ball movement by Boston. Here's Rozier. He's covered by Felton. And there's the call on Felton. That is his first foul of the game. And you look at the level of talent in the NBA now, some great players. But we've heard others say the league is watered down. How do you view that statement?
Well, I don't think you can compare errors. I think it's great to argue and have fun with them and debate them, but, very sincerely, unless someone can play against each other, it's just a wasted argument. There's different errors, there's different rules. Think about how many threes Larry Bird shot per game. 1.5, 2. What if he could let it fly 10 times a game? We'd be talking about a different player there. So I think times, errors, the physical play of the 80s, of the 90s, I just know that players will handle it differently. Hand checking, the way that we call flagrant 1 fouls. It's a different league, and so I just choose to celebrate the players that we have now. They're the evolution in my mind. They're kind of the culmination of all the players that have come before them. So I just enjoy the game the way it is now.
Shooting 2.
And that one falls for Johnson. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. Chris, if you were on the rules committee, what rule change would you like to see the NBA make going forward?
Kevin, there's not a rule I'd necessarily have changed, but I'd ask them to kind of reinterpret a couple of rules, and that goes with the flagrant foul. I often see so many plays that are just hard fouls called as flagrant fouls, and that can affect not only a player and later on whether it's a flagrant 2, but it can affect the game. It can affect the next game by how it's interpreted, by a player being kicked out because of that. And so I just want to take the sensitivity or put the toughness back into that. So many flagrant fouls are called and they're not going at the head, or they're chopping down on the wrist. And I just like to see it get back to be interpreted as it was a little while ago, maybe 20, 25 years ago.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Thunder.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win, a game that not many will soon forget, and on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Paul George.
He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
Now the pass to Rozier. Here's Morris. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Kevin, you love how Morris keeps his focus on the basket. You can whack him all you want, but he's still going to knock down those shots.
One shot behind the lanes.
Free throw good from Morris.
While the shooting of Morris provides his team with this crucial, just a real valuable part of this team.
And it's good for 2.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Yeah, that offense shifted into high gear. I love the attack mindset.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. There's the double team with Grant to the left side wing. Now the feed to Morris. Clock at 4. Here's Rozier. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
That's the way to attack. Get it into the post and go to work.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. Guys, your thoughts?
You know, this is a timeout maybe just so they can pat each other on the back because no other reason to call it.
My guess is that they're just trying to avoid some monumental breakdown after having dominated up to this point.
A chance to check out some of the tremendous play tonight from our Jordan Player of the Game.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
He doesn't always get the minutes he's gotten tonight, but there's no way they were going to sit him down once he got going. And the crowd has been loving it. A memorable night for him coming off the bench. Outside, Felton. Here's Rozier. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Carmelo. The team has had a nice run of late here. What do you think's been the difference?
Just feeling a little bit more confident than we have in the past. Just taking it one day at a time. Something to click. And we're doing our job right now. We trust in one another. We believing in one another on both ends of the court. And it's working for us.
Chemistry's really showing up nicely now, Melo. Thanks again. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you later.